I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, but tonight's not about me, it's about you guys. And I, too, want to start off with a thank you. I attended your guys' event about a year ago, was so touched just by what you guys are doing and what you've established, and bringing this group of people together is powerful. And tonight, as I think about you guys, this is all about taking you guys to the next level. I don't have that fascinating of a story, I'll be honest. I went to Wheaton College. I'm actually from Rockford, Illinois, and it's funny. My brother lives in my parents' basement still. He's out there somewhere. There he is. But the truth is, I went to Wheaton College, and my passion was health. It's always been health. And I thought to honestly help people and to make a good living, the best option would be what? Medical school. And so that's really what kind of was driving my passion. I'll be honest, as I worked my way through Wheaton College, I got to the end. I interned for 200 hours with 4 different medical groups, and I was less than excited about medicine and the direction that it was going. So for myself, I wanted to consider some other options. I think the timing of the business that I ended up coming on came because of a physician, and he mentored me through this process. I ended up starting One Body International at 22 years old, and now at 28, I've got over 2,000 people that I'm working with. We're in multiple countries. It's been exciting, but I think there's some patterns that have really gone and caused that to be the case. And so, let me make sure I get this one right. Here's the deal. Statistically, if I just stand up here and talk, research shows that you guys are going to probably retain about 10% of what I have to say. However, if you guys sit up in your seats, you shout back answers, and you participate fully, you guys are going to retain upwards of 90% of what I have to say. So the key word today is going to be participation. The key word is what? Okay, so as we think about participation, my first question is, if we're talking about taking you to the next level, what do you think it is that determines our success? I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of different industries that are represented in this room. Why is it that people within the same company, with the same product, same recession, same economy, all the rules are the same, why do they see drastically different levels of success? Even within the company that I'm a part of, we've got hundreds of thousands of associates. Why is there a drastic different level of success? I think the answer is patterns. What do I mean by patterns? What's an example? What do I mean by pattern? What's a pattern? Habits, right? So we hopefully all have good habits, yes? You guys brush your teeth? How many of us have bad habits? Some of us do on a daily basis. We have these habits. I want to show you how quickly we form habits. I need you guys to participate. If we can do this, I need you guys to all stand up for a minute. Hopefully you guys can see me here. Really simple exercise, okay? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to put your hands 6 inches apart, just like this. I like the way this guy's thinking, 6 inches. Okay, 6 inches. And real simple. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, go. And you're going to clap. Simple? 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3. Now notice, all it took was 4 repetitions, and you created a what? A pattern, right? Now think about this. I want you to interlock your fingers with me. Statistics show that some of you guys put your left thumb over your right thumb. Can I see you guys? Left thumb over your right? You guys are the creative ones, incredibly sexy, and probably good lovers. Now, wait a second here. Some of you put your right thumb over your left thumb. Can I see you guys? Research says that you guys are the logical thinkers in the group and most likely to be the millionaires. Now, do I have anybody in the room that puts their thumbs side by side? Yes. That means you think you're sexy and you're not very smart. I'm just kidding. Now, help me here. Take your thumbs, and I want you to switch them. How does that feel? Awkward? Uncomfortable? Because why? I broke your pattern. Breaking patterns isn't fun. My question is this. How many of you have patterns in your life right now that are leading to results that you're not satisfied with? Some of you guys are going in a direction that you don't like. Does it feel good to break patterns? It's hard. It's uncomfortable. But it's exactly what we want to do. So for the next few minutes, I want to cover some of those topics. You guys can take a seat for me. It sounds like there's some empty seats up here if you guys want to come take a seat. If you have an empty seat next to you, please raise your hand. You guys can fill in these gaps. If you're taking notes, I want you guys to write this down. When your knowledge comes up against your habits always win. When your knowledge comes up against your habits always win. I'll tell you, when I started my business, I promote a product. I'm in sales. And I made a very big rookie mistake. Here's my mistake. I thought everybody was going to get excited about health and products like me. What's funny is not everybody's excited about products or health as I am. I learned this. What is this? A picture of a dishwasher. If I told you all the bells and whistles of this dishwasher and I convinced you that it was the best dishwasher on the market, and I continued to say that for about the next 30 minutes, how many of you guys would be interested? Not many. I remember a guy tried to sell me a dishwasher. I lived in a rental unit. I didn't need to buy a dishwasher. My point was, I was offering solutions to problems that didn't exist. I wasn't listening. And so a friend took me aside, and I kid you not, this is what he told me. He said, people are not impressed with your knowledge. It was a tough lesson to learn at 22. I started realizing that what people care about are their needs. People want to pay their bills. People want to see their spouse more. People want to pay off debt. This is what people want, so it's identifying those needs. So as I started thinking about this, this was a turning point. Danny Johnson is somebody that I study. I think she's wonderful. She says, the marketplace pays for value, and the only thing that determines your value in the marketplace are your skills. What skills specifically? Well, I'll tell you right now, there's basic skills. We all know basic skills. It's funny, employers, typically 98% of employers only pay their employees enough for them not to quit, and the average employee only works hard enough not to get fired. And as you study the branding of that, truthfully, these basic skills is really what people are looking at. Let me talk about another skill. I think the skill that's most important, you touched on this, relationships, people skills. Think about this. Money doesn't grow on trees. Where does money come from? Where does money come from? People. If you suck with people, you aren't going to make any money. And I started to realize that was a gut check on my part. I had to start to realize, what does it actually look like to have these people skills? What does it look like to actually treat people on a daily basis? How many of you guys have read the book, Help Me, How to Win Friends and Influence People? Some of you have read that book, Dale Carnegie. I'll tell you, meeting people's needs, they asked me to give you guys 3 tips tonight. This would be the first. Be a good listener. The Bible says, be slow to speak and quick to listen. It's funny, as I started studying people, I realized that people's favorite subject is what? It's themselves. So as you start to think about that, think about your yearbook. You guys all got a yearbook. What's the first thing that you do when you get that yearbook? You go find yourself in there, don't you? And you'll look for yourself on multiple pages, and then when you look at the group photo, who are you looking for? You. And you'll even circle your face, and in the process of circling your face, you're crossing off other people's faces, because the only person that matters in that photo is who? You. So as I started realizing that I need to talk to people about them, I need to be slow to speak and more quick to listen. That's a process. Tip number 2, talking in terms of other people's interests. What does that actually look like? I'm telling you, I teach that it means to interview everyone. Ask questions. It's the law of honor. It's putting others above yourself. Do that on a daily basis. I tell you, the first time I met these girls, that's exactly what they did. It wasn't about what they had or their agenda. It was about, what am I doing? What can they do to service my business? What can they do to service my needs? As you honor people, you can do that, not just with people in high places, but people in low places. Ask yourself that question. Are you only talking to the CEOs, the presidents, the managers? Or are you talking to the person at the checkout line? Think about that as you go through. Average person, I'm telling you right now, I teach my team this. You want to develop raging fans. What separates you from everybody else, guarantee you, if you're talking to that person at the checkout line and you actually ask them questions about themselves, the one person that they're going to remember at the end of the day is who? It's you. You took the time to ask them about them. So finding that process, because we're in such a busy society, I tell you right now, Chicago is a little bit overwhelming. I live in the suburbs. It's so fast-paced. We're all about me, and this. And it's difficult at times because we don't start thinking about the people around us, because all that matters is am I accomplishing my goals. So honoring people and doing that not just with people in high places. And then Dale Carnegie teaches this 3rd principle. He says, make everyone feel special and important. Make everyone feel special and important. I like what Tony Robbins says. He actually teaches this. He says that there's 6 primal needs, and one of those 6 needs is that we need to feel special and important. Some, that's a greater need than others. But I think one of the simplest ways to do that is to actually just smile. Do you actually teach people to smile? I tell you, when I do conference calls, when I'm traveling around the world, I actually have to teach people to smile. 93% of communication is nonverbal. So as you start talking to people and as I deal with objections or as I start dealing with prospects or people that I'm trying to communicate and business with, sometimes people don't want what I have, they don't want to listen to what I have, but I continue to smile through the process. That was something that I didn't necessarily think about, but once I read that, I started to realize that's something that I need to do. And then I teach this acronym FORM. I don't know if any of you have heard this acronym before. Have you guys heard the acronym FORM before? Is this new to you? Some of you guys have. Let me help with this. If you really want to put people first, I think there's some skills, okay? I think there's some skills that you can put forth. So this skill of forming is something that I actually teach. When you start to think about other people's needs, how many of you would say family is important to you? Absolutely, right? So if I were to ask you where you're from and tell me about your family, tell me about your spouse, tell me about your kids, is that something that you would light up and want to talk about? I guarantee it. Number two, I'll take somebody to the second step and I'll say, so you've told me a little bit about your family, so what do you do? Obviously, occupation is something we do on a daily basis. It's something that we are or aren't passionate about. So I'm listening. Does the person actually like what they do? Do they enjoy it? I could tell Chris is passionate about what he does and he's good at it. So occupation is number two. Number three is recreation. I ask people, what do you do for fun? Where do you like to travel? What cities? What countries? How much do you get to travel? Now here's the key. If I'm slow to speak and quick to listen, if I'm asking people about their needs, if I'm trying to make people feel special and important, I'm not just asking these questions, I'm listening. What's funny is I've started to realize as I ask these questions, somebody might say I have a sick spouse. Needs. I'm trying to figure out how can I help this person. The M then becomes message. You can't deliver a message if you didn't listen to the first three. I was just talking to a guy the other day and he and his wife were trying to sell a house. I realized the message for this person was connecting to a realtor that I knew. That was the message. I want to make this person's life better. So this process of forming is something that I actually believe is a skill. Do you believe that people's skills are something you can improve? Yes or no? I'll tell you, a brain surgeon gets paid more than a general surgeon. Why? Because they increase their skills. They invest time and money. The marketplace pays for value. The only thing that determines your value in the marketplace are your skills. As you start to increase your skills, you start to see more success. And I'll tell you right now, putting people first and doing this process of forming is huge. So in review, be a good listener, talk in terms of other people's interests, make everyone feel special and important. And what this comes together as, I'll tell you right now, the marketplace, there's high value for connectors. Part of the reason I love Connect.Inspire.Grow is because that's exactly what they do. That's what I teach people to do. Connect. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have the right product for a person. But I can connect you to so-and-so. I'll put you in touch with so-and-so because they have the right product. And as you're a connector, you become a high market commodity. And that's what I think these guys do better than anybody. It's not necessarily that I have something that can help you, but I can put you in touch with that person. And as you start becoming a connector, there's a high market value for that. I tell you, friends, it's fun that this worked out. I have been in literally 4 cities in the last 8 days. I've been traveling, teaching my organization. I get so stinking passionate about teaching people health. I love it. I like to see people make changes. But I think as you look at the results, I think it's just, honestly, it's just habits that were created when I started building this business, of putting people first, of making people feel special and important. And so whatever your business is, if you tend to do that, continue to do that, but find ways to do it more. Put others above yourself, and I guarantee you'll find it. If you guys want to stay connected with me, I'll tell you, it's really simple. Technology, you just text my name to the number 90210. You can remember that. 90210. It's called an M card. It's literally a mobile business card. Just text my name to 90210 and you'll get all my contact details. This Thursday night, I'm going to actually be interviewing Dr. Oz. We're going into the holidays. We're going to be doing some cool stuff as far as holiday tips for how you guys can stay healthy. Going into the new year, obviously people have huge New Year goals, so I'll be interviewing a celebrity trainer, Kathy Kaler. That's a free call. We're just trying to add value to people's lives. So this Thursday night at 8 o'clock, we're going to do that. And everybody that subscribes to my text message, I send you the call details. So if that's something that you're interested in, something that you feel would be beneficial, feel free to do that. Just text my name to 90210. Guys, I'll leave you with this. I'll tell you right now, 2012 may or may not have been a good year for you, but going into 2013, I'd love to see it the best year you guys have ever had, and I believe that it can be if you put other people first. Thanks very much.